The rain of fire that fell on a city. One day Abraham, for shall we call him now by his new name, was sitting in the door of his tent when he saw three men coming toward him. He knew from their looks that they were not common men. They were angels, and one of them seems to have been the Lord God himself, coming in the form of a man. When Abraham saw these men coming, he went out to meet them and bowed to them, and he said to the one who was the leader, "My lord, do not pass by, but come and rest a little under the tree. Let me send for water to wash your feet and take some food. Stay with us a little while." So the strange person, who was God in the form of a man, sat with his two followers in Abraham's tent, under the oak trees at Hebron. They took some food which Sarah, Abraham's wife, made ready for them. And then the Lord talked with Abraham, and he told Abraham again, in a very little time, God would send to him and Sarah a little boy, whose name should be called Isaac. In that language that Abraham spoke, the name Isaac means laughing, because Abraham and Sarah both laughed aloud when they heard it. They were so happy that they could scarcely believe the news. Then the three persons rose up to go, and the two of them went on the road which led toward Sodom, down on the plain of Jordan, below the mountains. But the one whom Abraham called my Lord stopped after the others had gone away, and said, "Shall I hide from Abraham what I am going to do? For Abraham is to be the father of a great people, and all of the world shall receive a blessing through him. And I know that Abraham will teach his children and all those who live with him to obey the will of the Lord, and to do right. I will tell Abraham what I am going to do. I am going to the city of Sodom and to the other cities that are near it, and I am going to see if the city is as bad as it seems to be. For the wickedness of the city is like a cry coming before the Lord. And Abraham knew that Sodom was very wicked, and he feared that the Lord was about to destroy it. Will you destroy the righteous with the wicked, the good with the bad in Sodom? Perhaps there may be 50 good people in the city. Will you not spare the city for the sake of 50 good men who may be in it? Shall not the judge and the ruler of the earth do right? And the Lord said, If I find 50 good people, then I will not destroy the city, but will spare it for their sake. Then Abraham said again, Perhaps I am not to ask you anything more, but I am a common man talking with the Lord God. But suppose that there should be 45 good people. Suppose there be 40. And he went on, and finally, in desperation, Abraham said, Lord, what if there are only 10 good men in Sodom? Will you destroy it? And the Lord said, If I find 10 good men in Sodom, I will spare the city. And Abraham had no more to say. The Lord in the form of a man went on his way toward Sodom, and Abram turned back and went to his tent. You remember that Lot, the nephew of Abraham, chose the land of Sodom for his home, and lived there, though the people were so wicked. You remember, too, how Lot was carried away captive when Sodom was taken by its enemies, and how he was rescued by Abram. But after all that had happened, Lot went to live in Sodom again, and here he was when the angels came to Abraham's tent, as we read in the last story. Two of the angels who had visited Abraham went to Sodom and walked through the city trying to find some good men, for if they could find only 10, the city would be saved. But the only good man whom they found was Lot. He took the angels who looked like men into his house and treated them kindly and made supper for them. Then the men of Sodom, when they found out the strangers were in Lot's house, came before the house in the street and tried to take the two men out that they might do harm. So wicked and cruel they were. But the men of Sodom could do nothing against, for what they had tried to break open the door, Lot was greatly frightened. The two angels struck all those wicked men blind in the moment, so they could not see, and they felt in the dark for the door. When the angel said to Lot, Have you any others besides yourself? Any sons or sons-in-laws or daughters in this place? Whomever you have, get them out of the city quickly, for we are about to destroy this place because it is so wicked. Then Lot went to the houses where the young men were, the men who had married his daughters. Hurry and get out of this place, for the Lord is going to destroy it. But his sons-in-laws, the husbands of his daughters, would not believe his words. They only laughed at him. What a mistake it was for Lot to live in that wicked city, where his daughters were married to the young men living there. When the morning was coming, the two angels tried to make Lot hasten. They said, Rise quickly, take your wife and your two daughters that are here. If you do not make haste, we will destroy the city with you in it. But Lot was slow to leave the house, and his married daughters and all that he had. The two angels took hold of them and his wife, his two daughters, and the angels dragged them out of the city. God was good to Lot, to take him out of the city before it was destroyed. And when they had brought Lot and his wife and his daughters out of the city, one of the angels said, Escape for your life. Do not look behind you. Do not stop anywhere in the plain. Climb up that mountain, or you may be destroyed. Lot begged the angels not to send him so far away. He said, "Oh, my Lord, I cannot climb that mountain. Have mercy. Let me go to that little city that lies over yonder. Please let me be safe there." The angels said, "We will spare that city for your sake, and we will wait till you are there." So Lot ran to the city where they found safety. In the language of that time, the word Zor means little. So the city was afterward called Zor. It was a time when the sunrise came up when Lot came to Zor. As soon as Lot and his family were safely out of Sodom, the Lord caused the rain to fall upon Sodom. Great fire came out of the clouds, covering all the plain, so the cities were destroyed. While Lot and his daughters were fleeing from the city, Lot's wife stopped to look back, and she became a pillar of salt, standing there upon the plain. Lot and his 2 daughters escaped, but they were afraid to stay in the little city of Zor. They climbed up the mountain away from the plain and found a cave where they lived. So Lot lost his wife and all he had because he had made home the wicked people of Sodom. When Abram from his tent on the door of the mountain looked toward the plain, the smoke was rising from it, the smoke like a great furnace. And it was at the end of the cities of the plain, Sodom and Gomorrah, and the other cities with them. Zor alone was saved because Lot, a good man, prayed for it.